got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Down in my heart to stay. Beautiful. Oh, I love good music and I love good musicians. Thank you. For my talk today, I wanted to start with this very powerful reading by W.H. Murray, who was the amazing Scottish Himalayan explorer. And this is an excerpt from his book. And many people have attributed this writing to Goethe. But, in fact, there's no translation from the German that meets this. But what was true is W.H. Murray was a scholar, admirer of Goethe, so these are W.H. Murray's words. Until one is committed, there's hesitancy, the chance to draw back. Concerning all acts of initiative and creation, there's one elementary truth, the ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans. That the moment one definitely commits to oneself, then providence moves on. All sorts of things occur to help one that would never otherwise have occurred. A whole stream of events issues from the decision, rising in one's favor all manner of unforeseen incidences and meetings and material assistance, which no man could have dreamed would have come his way. Whatever you can do or dream you can do, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Begin it now. I love that because, boy, does that go along with my talk title today, Dare to Dream. I love dreaming. And here we are in June, the second Sunday in June. It's the power is imagination, and it's blue. So this already we're set the stage for amazing truth on what we could dare to dream. I turn to Reverend Catherine T. Ponder. Now, Catherine Ponder, wonderful writer. She's written many, many books, and she has been the longest-standing queen of prosperity. Wonderful wisdom. She says this, the more you dare to image your desired good as a fulfilled result, and the more you dare to live your mental images, the faster the imaging power of the mind will begin producing almost magical results for you. This is the core idea behind daring to dream. Dream is imagining something different, something better, something more fulfilling. And as we open ourselves to that possibility, there's no way we can know what will happen to make it possible. Now, when I decided I was going to go to college for my undergraduate degree at University of California, Santa Cruz, I had enough money for 1 quarter. And they were offering me loans, and they were offering me things. I didn't want to sign any loan papers. And on my way down there, my father was driving me down to school. He said, son, wouldn't it be better if you just went to a community college for a couple years? That's free, and then you could get your associate degree, and then you could go to a university. No, Dad, that's not what I want. I want to get the full liberal arts education experience. I want to dive in. And then when I got out of the car, he handed to me a Webster's Collegiate Dictionary. And it said, "Dear Gary, I know, son, you are going to achieve wonderful things. I hold that vision for you. Love, Dad." And then everything worked in order for me to use. I had 4 jobs, and they allowed me to do my classwork and work with friends and have the liberal arts education I imagined. Now, I started in computer science. Didn't find anything in computer science that even interested me at all. I thought maybe systems analysis would at least give me some creativity. Not. So I moved to theater arts, and I got a degree in theater. And I've been doing theater ever since. Thank you. I turned to Ronald Reagan. Now, this man knows how to dare to dream. I can't think of an individual who's manifested as much as he has in one lifetime. He became a very successful actor. There's a lot of people that want to be a successful actor. He dared to dream. And you can bet there were people who said, "You'll never be able to do that." He became the president of the Screen Actors Guild. Also, there's lots of people who could do that, and he did it. Then governor of California, the state where I grew up in. And then the president of the United States. He has and knows and knew the tool for daring to dream. It doesn't matter whether you like Ronald Reagan or not. The man knew how to dream. And he says, there are no great limits to growth because there's no limits of human intelligence, imagination, and wonder. There's no lack in our ability to see something new. And certainly from a man who had many career changes, we can adopt something of what that's about. Because there's no limit. And there's no limit because there's no limit in God in us. God has skills. God has the means of working through us the best we can be. Newton Dillaway is a great New Thought writer, and he says, divine imagination is the chisel we wield in molding the paradise of our inner thought kingdoms. I love that because we know what a chisel does. It creates space where there wasn't space before. It could just carve it right out. And so we can use our imagination to be the very chisel to work through our resistance, our doubt, our lack, and open ourselves to wonder, imagination, and creativity. Now, at the Unity Convention last year, it was Tuesday night, and the keynote speakers were David Alt and Bishop Carlson Pierce. And earlier that day, I had gotten a call from the Grand Wailea Resort Hotel that I had been given the job that I applied for as an art consultant. Minimum $60,000 a year plus commissions, giving an opportunity for rich people to buy art while vacationing in Maui. Giving me an opportunity to go snorkeling every day. Giving me an opportunity to live in my relative comfort of paradise. But what David Alt and Bishop Carlton Pearson did was they chiseled into my imagination and called me to live bigger. I've got a lot of love to give. I have not been on this journey to be a unity minister to sit back and sell art. And that night, after their keynote speaker, where I was on fire to be the biggest I could be, I went on to the Unity's website, and I looked at the available churches. And when I looked through the list, the one that went bing, 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 was Unity of New Braunfels. I thought, oh, they've been looking for a minister since March. That won't be available anymore. Don't listen to this. Listen to this. And that began allowing myself to see something different and allow it to come into focus. Neville Goddard loved Emerson, and he draws this from that wisdom. Man can be anything he pleases if he will make the conception habitual and think from the end. Now, for my own life, I knew I wanted to be a unity minister. I was clearly called for it. And I began in the 6 years of that training of seeing myself as a minister. In fact, I held the affirmation that I am a vibrant, teaching ministry, working in a thriving ministry. Now, that affirmation, I had no idea what it was going to look like or where it was going to lead me, but I knew how it was going to feel. That I was going to feel engaged and enlivened and connected and challenged and supported and nurtured and living a life beyond my wildest dream. Living from that end, it brings our reality into focus. And here I stand. Albert Einstein describes this as what happens in very science. To raise new questions, new possibilities, to regard old problems from a new angle requires creative imagination and marks real advance in science. We are always thinking. We're always have the opportunity to raise a new question. I wonder if. And then from what comes forward in answer to the question, that requires our creative imagination, which we've already said today is like a chisel that will carve out and make space. Because we can't take on something new without letting go of something. Have you ever noticed that? I used to travel and just pick up trinkets and souvenirs and stuff, and then get home and go, where am I going to put it? Now, when I'm out and about and I see something, it's like, okay, I'll get this, but what's going? Because I know that there's only enough space, and within me there's only enough space for me to work on new things. Now, there's no lack in God, but I'm not all God is. And yet everything in me is divine. Everything in you is divine. And within that divinity, we use our imagination to carve out what it is we want. And that's science, according to Albert Einstein. Reverend Phil Pearson is a unity minister. His wife was Dorothy Pearson. And together, they created more new unity ministers than anyone else I know. They created 6 unity ministers in Hawaii and across the nation. In fact, just a couple years ago, we started a new one in the Sacramento area in California. Daring to dream. We know how much work it takes to create this ministry because we've heard it from the founders who did it. Phil and Dorothy did it over and over and over and over, and he's still alive to tell about it. So let's hear what he has to say. Imagination can lead in the manifestation process in the development of the intangible things of life. We can imagine ourselves being more patient, more orderly, kinder, more loving, wiser, more poised, etc. We have the opportunity to imagine anything we want. Why not imagine more wisdom? Why not imagine being more giving, more balanced, more open? More orderly. What would you like more in your life? What would give your life, this is good? Maybe it's being more efficient. Maybe it's being more joyful. Maybe it's looking in the mirror and laughing more. There's no lack in God. And our imaging, our imagining process is our right and our ability. When I was a child, I imagined like crazy. I could imagine all kinds of worlds and things. And the direction from our master teacher Jesus is be like a child. Not be like a child and do childish things. Be like a child and imagine. Pick up the chisel and start being creative. Napoleon Hill is a man who went rags to riches, and then he wrote about it, and many people have benefited from his think rich philosophy. And here he says, cherish your visions and your dreams as they are children of your soul, the blueprints of ultimate achievements. I love that. So just like a bird sitting on those eggs holds the vision that they're going to birth baby chicks, our dreams are that fertile place where we're creating those ideas, those dreams, those visions that will be our reality in the future. Now, there's many, many, many writings of Olympic athletes that describe that one of the most powerful things they do is to see their outcome, to see the gold medal being put around their neck, to see how they navigated the slope or through the disc or glided across the ice, visualizing what their body is going to do, how they're going to be feeling, and then having it happen. Because those dreams become the very blueprint of how we do it. Now, blueprint is just a mapping out of what's to be. There's blueprints for this very building that show the structure, show the way the water's supposed to flow around the property. And then here it is. The blueprint isn't the thing, it's the destiny. And our thoughts, Our imagination, our ability to dare to dream is inviting infinite imagination, God, to guide us through and give us what we need. Are you ready to dare to dream? Are you ready to step into a life that you never even knew existed? It's the intangible. Anything's possible in that realm. Reverend Linda Martella Whitsitt was a senior minister at Unity of San Antonio. She's now one of the directors at Silent Unity. And she has this wonderful writing about this imagination. Imagination is our powerful capacity to picture what we can be and to live into the idea until it essentially becomes our reality. One of the greatest things about living in the potentiality of an idea is we're already living our success. We're already living our creativity. We're all living our opportunity that says, I am available. That says, I'm willing. I'm open to something bigger, and I don't even need to know how I'm going to get there. Because the opportunity will come forward that'll guide us to our reality. And therein lies the life living. So if you're ready to dare to dream, let your heart be your guide. As we now take this time to drop into meditation and see what is in store for us in this now moment in imagination. And we allow Linda, Wes, and Leslie to guide us in song as we go deeper and deeper into this moment. So as we take a deep breath, in and out, in and out, we open ourselves to embrace now. Setting down anything that's before this moment and anything that is to be. We relax and know that we are here now. Be here now. And as we open ourselves to our center, to our Christ consciousness, to the divine within, we ignite the light of wonder, the light of life, the light of imagination. I wonder what would bring to my life great goodness, where I would say, yes, this is good. Take that or any question into your heart as we now take some time and go into the silence. Let us accept this moment as grace. Let us take from this whatever has been given to us, knowing all the while that we can return to this space at any time and commune with our deepest sense of self and our highest good. So as we feel gratitude, thank you, the peace of this moment, we begin to return to the room now with our awareness. We might wiggle our fingers, our toes, might roll our head or shoulders. And when we're ready, we open our eyes and we'll say this affirmation together. As I dream, I open myself to infinite imagination. And so it is.
Step out on the water, release your faith. Every step is stronger.